Let us do Prarthana and start the session. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Annado Sri Jagannatha Madguru Sri Jagadguru Mamatma Sarva Bhutatma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Chara Acharam Tat Padam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. The only Guru of three religions, Tridathiram originator, sensational writer, the author of more than 100 divine holy scriptures, the emperor of spiritual kingdom, the Hindu virtue donor, Sri 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 Acharya Prabodhananda Yogeshwar. We are learning Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yogam chapter. Let us recap what we learned last week. Last week we learned about that Lord Krishna told us that all the karmas we need to offer to him, and we should have spiritual thinking, and we should avoid all the other desires and the attachments. So then we have to do our task. So that way we can have the karma yogam in our task itself. The karma yogam is the one which will make you free from attaching any karma. So whatever the way he explained to us, so whoever gets interest on that and whoever likes the method what Lord Krishna explained, told us, and all, not only that, so he not only taught, he also followed and showed an example for us. So when we follow what he said to us, so because with that what happens, so those whoever follow, whoever be with more interest and love his method, then they are not going to get any future karma. So they will be liberated later point of time whenever their entire karma completely nullified. And also he said that whoever is hatred on whatever he taught, and if he does so, he would be going away from the divine path, and he would be called as ignorant person, and he will get complete loss with respect to the divine wisdom, and he will earn more and more sin. See the because even though Lord Krishna is nothing but Paramatma, the absolute soul. When he took the human form, we called him Bhagavan. When Bhagavan taught us that we should take it to our heart and we should follow whatever he told us to do. So when you ignore that and when you criticize what the method he explained to us to avoid the karma, then you will be the bigger loser, we can say. You will lose all the knowledge, wisdom which is related to the God, and you will remain as completely ignorant. So even though if you have the vast knowledge of the external worldly related matters, that's no useful at all. Even if you may think that you are the great in thinking and doing and learned so much of the external worldly information matters. If you are more intelligent in external world related, that's all waste. That comes that's only for one lifetime itself. So it's all temporary. When you die, nothing will come with you. It's not going to save you from the karma at all. So that's why we all should follow what Lord Krishna told us to do. We should do that, so that way we can avoid the karma. Yeah. And also, even though you are a knower of the wisdom, so you should follow according to the past birth karma. So uh, if you think that you should not do that, and if you want to, if you think that you could avoid that, it's impossible, it cannot be done, because all the other creatures, they are all following according to the karma. You also must do that. So we got one example of about a film. In the film, where the film is being played, there is a screen and projector and a reel. On the reel, all the prints are there. When the prints are moving inside the projector, when the light is falling, light rays fall on that reel, the focus will fall on the screen. From the focus, all the pictures will be moving on the movie itself, so that we see the entire cinema or video where all the pictures are moving. If you want to change the actions of the pictures on the screen, it is impossible, you cannot make change. You can only make change whenever you change the reel itself. When you change the reel, the pictures are changed there or on the screen itself. So in the similar way, if you want to change a person, suppose if a person is doing the bad task, if you tell him don't do bad task, do good task, is it possible? No, it's not possible. Whenever you teach him the right way, how do you destroy his karma, how your teachings destroy his future karma, he also can follow that, and then whenever he is doing the task, he will keep away the ego. When he keeps away the ego, then what happens? He is not going to earn the future karma. So he experienced whatever the karma is there in this instance, but he is not earning future karma. So that karma is gone. That way he will be gradually destroying his karma and moving towards the God, near like that. He will be close to the God. So whenever he destroys entire karma, then he would merge with the God. That's what. So that's what he. And also, even if you are a knower of the wisdom, you should not think that you are a special person compared to the other person. So your style of doing is different compared to the others. So that is totally wrong. Even though you are a knower of the wisdom, or a general person, whatever, ordinary man or ignorant man, with respect to the task, everybody is same, because everybody should follow according to his past birth. That's what Lord Krishna is saying over here. Though you are a knower of the wisdom, you also must follow according to the karma. You should not think that you can avoid that. No, according to the karma, everybody should follow. So that's what. If you think that you can avoid, it's useless. Okay, that's what we learned about that in the last week. And also, some people may think or judge the people based on the what kind of task they are doing in the physical world. With respect to the wisdom, it's not correct. With respect to the wisdom, though he is doing the good task or bad task, if he is with the wisdom and if he is capable of avoiding the future karma, then we can say he is a pure gnani or knowers of the wisdom. He is in the right path of the God. The people who don't understand that, and people just think about the external actions and judge the people, those kind of people, they cannot understand the true notion of the wisdom itself, even though they are nearby the Bhagavad Gita, and also even though they are reading the Bhagavad Gita, they can't grasp the true notion what Lord Krishna explained in the Gita itself. Okay, now let's move on to the 34th Shlokam today. Indriyasyarthe ragadveshau vyavastithau tayornavasham agachetau hyasya paripantinau. What he is saying? So in every matter which is related to the organs, actionable organs or sensible organs, whatever it may be, so there are always raga and dveshas, love and hatred. You should not fall prey to them. What are the raga dveshas? They are emotions. So in our head, Maya is there in our head. Maya is nothing but gunas. Gunas are nothing but Vedas. They are inside our head itself. So when you fall prey to those gunas, what happened? You will get karma. So that's why here he is saying, not only just love and hatred. Love is the highest good guna, hatred is the highest bad guna. Among the 6 good gunas, love is the highest. Among the 6 bad gunas, hatred is the highest. Like that, there are 6 bad gunas and 6 good gunas. 6 good gunas give you merit, 6 bad gunas give you sin. So whenever these emotions won't work on you, you are away from the karma. So that's why he is saying that you should avoid them. You should avoid them. When you avoid them, it becomes the Brahma Yogam. So those emotions are enemies to the every creature, every mortal soul. That's why this Shlokamu clearly talks about the Brahma Yogam, and the previous Shlokamu, 33rd one, which talks about the Karma Yogam. So in Karma Yogam, whenever the task is happening from your body, we should know the mechanism of the task, how it comes as a output and how we can physically experience that one. So when there is a karma, when karma comes into the force, karma will activate the emotions. That karma can be a good karma, can be a bad karma. The karma can be any type. So that karma, suppose it is a bad karma, it has to be executed now in this instance. So if that karma is a bad karma, suppose a robbery, you think it is a robbery. Robbery means how it happens? Because some person, if you want to steal somebody else's property or assets or money or something, whatever it may be, so that comes up out of the desire. You have the desire to, you have the wanting or desire to steal that one. So that is a bad guna or bad emotion. When that bad emotion is activated, who is going to activate that? Your initiative karma is in force. So when it enforces, it activates the bad guna, that is the desire. Then desire is activated, the intellect which follows the emotions. Immediately your intellect will start thinking over that. When it is continuously thinking, then the chittam, which decides what should happen according to the karma, then what it does, it will take up the one thought, whichever your intellect is making, then that thought decision is given to the mind. The decider, the chittam, is associated with the mind. Mind will do 2 tasks. One task, it will grasp the matters from the perceptions of the sensible organs and gives to intellect. Second one, it will take the order from the chittam or decider. That order it will give to the actionable organs. The mind will make sure the things, the order should be executed by the actionable organs. In this instance, the mortal soul is not engaged in any of them. He is not involved in any of these things. And beside the mortal soul, there is ego. Ego is a internal organ. It's not a emotion at all. That ego will poke the mortal soul and tell, "Hey, you did this task. You are great." It pokes. Then the mortal soul, without even thinking, since he is an ignorant person, he doesn't even know. He will blindly listens to the ego, he takes it on him. Then what happens? Immediately the new karma, future karma will be written on him. Here in this instance, we explained about the bad karma, right? Bad karma gives sin. That sin will be written as a future karma for this mortal soul. If it is a good work, good task is happening, then the good karma got executed. So, good action got executed. So, he will get the ego related to the good karma. He will get the good karma as a future karma. This is how the thing happening inside the body. So, when the tasks are happening from the body, even though there is a knower of the wisdom, even though there is a ignorant person, nobody cannot avoid that. You cannot avoid that. That's what he said in the 33rd Slokam. Here in the 34th Slokam, what he said? He said, you should avoid the emotions. When he is saying that you should avoid the emotions, there must be something different compared to the 33rd Slokam. That's why 33rd Slokam, we are talking about Karma Yogam. 34th Slokam, it is about purely Brahma Yogam. So, when it is a Brahma Yogam, what is going to happen in the Brahma Yogam? A yogi, how he enters into Brahma Yogam? When yogi enters into Brahma Yogam, what exactly happens is he should stop completely the mind. When mind becomes zero, then he would become Brahma Yogi in that instance itself. The mind which will be moving around the Ida Nadi, Pingala Nadi, left nostril, right nostril, we can say left nerve, right nerve. There are three nerves basically, left, right and middle. The middle one is called Brahma Nadi, big nerve. The left nerve and right nerve both are there. Nadis we call Ida Nadi, Pingala Nadi, Sushumna Nadi or Brahma Nadi. As long as you are breathing out, breathing in, breathe out, you are making, the mind will be present in your body. It will be spread whole body, everywhere, wherever you do, pinch, you touch, you taste, you smell, you see, you listen, everything will be known to the mind itself. Whenever a Brahma Yogi makes shut off completely this mind will contrast, which is expanded whole body, which got the whole body shape when you are aware or awake. That mind will become contrasted and becomes a tiny ball shape, round shape. It will enter into the big nerve and it will reach to the place of soul, immortal soul. When it happens, so if a Brahma Yogi opened his eyes and entered into Brahma Yogi, even outside people may think that, hey, he has opened his eyes, he might be looking at us. No. Even though your perceptions of sensible organs grasping the matters, five worldly related matters which you see, which you listen, which you taste, which you touch, which you smell, those matters will not reach mind because mind is not spread whole body in the movement. Mind is inside the big nerve. The matters are not flowing to the mind. How come mind can provide those matters to the intellect? So intellect is not in a position to receive the external matters to itself. Then the mind, the intellect which follows the emotions Since there are no matters at the intellect also cannot follow the cannot make any thinking. It does not think anything. When it is not thinking, that means it stopped there itself. When it stopped there itself, then the chittam which decides the task is no more doing that task. When it is not deciding anything and not providing that orders to the mind again, since mind is not there, then there is no action is happening from the body itself. That's what happens in the Brahma Yogam. So, if some people think that why God said in two different ways, one slokam says you should avoid, another slokam says you should not avoid. The 33rd slokam says you should not avoid, 34th slokam says you should avoid. You should avoid means when you make sure that when you are successful in dealing with the emotions, when you are successful in avoiding the emotions, stopping the emotions to work, then that is called Brahma Yogam. In that is the one Lord Krishna is explaining over here. So when you are doing tasks, when you are working, that means you will get all the thoughts which are related to the emotions itself. So you cannot avoid the emotions. When you are not doing any task, when you are in Brahma Yogam state, then there are no thoughts to the intellect and no emotions are working over there. That is called the Brahma Yogam itself. So at one place God said about Karma Yogam in 33rd slokam. In another place he said about the Brahma Yogam state. So the one who is going to avoid is Brahma Yogi, all the emotions. The one who is not going to avoid them and will be performing the actions is Karma Yogam. So here Karma Yogam and Brahma Yogam both are completely different. In Karma Yogam, nobody cannot avoid the task. In Brahma Yogam, you can avoid the task because you are stopping your body, no actions are happening, no emotions are moving, no intellect is not working, mind itself stopped, everything is completely stopped. That means you could avoid in Brahma Yogam. So, in Karma Yogam, you cannot avoid the enforcement of the karma. So you should follow according to the karma itself. If you have any doubts, you can ask over here. If not, we'll do Mangala Prardhana and end the session. We'll discuss about the 35th slokam in the next week. Om Mangalam Gurudevaya Mahaniya Prabodhatmane Sarvaloka Sharanyaya Sadhurupaya Mangalam. Prabodharpanam to all.